This tutorial is for 2nd grade, Module 3, Lesson 16. In this lesson, we're going to compare numbers. To start with, I'm going to use the place value chart to help with that comparison. Here I have the number 132, and I'm going to model it on the place value chart. Since I have a 2 in the ones place, I will shade in 2 of the discs in my ones column. I have a 3 in the tens place, so I will shade in 3 of those discs in the tens column, and I'll shade in 1 disc in the hundreds place to show the 100. I'm going to do the same thing for the number 312. 312 has 2 ones, 1 10, and 3 hundreds. And the third number I'm going to use for my comparison is the number 213. 213 has 3 ones, 1 10, and 2 hundreds. Now that I've represented each number on the place value chart, I can answer these questions. The first question says, what is the greatest number? To find the greatest number, I have to use the number that had the most hundreds. Since they all had numbers in the hundreds place, it doesn't matter what numbers they had in the tens place or the ones place. The largest or greatest number was the number that had the most hundreds, and that number was 312. Next, it asks, what is the smallest number? Again, we're only going to focus on what was in the hundreds place. The smallest number was the number that had the fewest hundreds, and that number was 132. Again, it doesn't matter what's in the tens place or the ones place. To start our comparison, we're looking at the hundreds place, since the hundreds place is the place with the largest value. To finish out my problem, I'm going to order all 3 numbers from smallest to greatest. Well, we already determined that 132 was the smallest number and 312 was the greatest number. That leaves the number 213 in the middle. So if we look back at our hundreds place, you can see the hundreds place goes up by 100 each time when we order them from smallest to greatest. In the next section, we're going to compare 2 numbers by using the terms less than or greater than. In problem A, I have the number 97 and the number 102. So if we remember in the first part of the lesson, we talked about 100 being the greatest place value in our comparison. So here, my second number has 100. The first number doesn't have any hundreds. So that makes my second number greater. It doesn't matter how many in the tens place or the ones place. Since the second number has 100, it's going to be greater than any 2-digit number. So we will say that 97 is less than 102. In problem B, I have 184 and 159. They both have a 1 in the hundreds place. So that means I need to move to my tens place. In the first number, I have 8 tens. In the second number, I have 5 tens. So I have more tens in the first number, so that automatically makes that number the larger number. So we'll say 184 is greater than 159. And in problem C, I have the number 213 and the number 206. So if I start with my hundreds place, they both have 2 in their hundreds place. The first number has 1 10. The second number has 0 tens. So since the first number has 1 10, it's going to be the larger number. So 213 is greater than 206. In my last section, I'm still making that comparison, but I have to do a little mental math here. In question I, we're comparing the number 100 plus 30 plus 8 to the number 183. So I'm going to write this first number in standard form to help with that comparison. So I have 100, 3 tens, and 8 ones. Now I can start by comparing my hundreds. I have 100 in both numbers. So I'll move to the tens place. In the first number, I have 3 tens. In the second number, I have 8 tens. That 8 tens in my second number automatically makes that the larger number. So we'll say that 100 plus 30 plus 8 is less than 183. And our last problem, problem J, says we're going to compare 3 tens and 5 ones to 32. So 3 tens and 5 ones is 35. I can start by comparing numbers in the tens place. They both have a 3 in the tens place. So now we'll move to the ones place. The first number has a 5. The second number has a 2. That means the first number is greater. So 3 tens and 5 ones is greater than 32. So you can see how important it is to pay attention to place value when we are comparing these numbers.